It was like the day before, I was like, all right, I'm going to do all this tomorrow. I still have reminders on my phone that say first workout for this time, second workout for this time. I didn't do anything the next day because you don't realize how hard it is to make such a drastic change, such a drastic difference.
That's a really good point. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, I believe, the 22nd episode of the Conscious Cast. And
22nd.
With us, we have a very, very special guest, all right? And my man...
Haven't been here since...
a long time.
Second podcast.
Yeah, so, I think that was literally the last time you were on the channel. You know, he used to be a very big staple in the channel in terms of entertainment. But, you know, he's also my best friend that I've known since, today. So, no. since, you know, freshman year of high school is when we really, became best friends. I moved to his neighborhood. We did the same sport. And, you know, our relationship has blossomed from there.
I'm gonna question why you just went when you said
what, are you
blossom.
Are you against that?
No, just not right now, bro.
Not on camera. Dude, we got the
third camera is supposed to be for that reason.
Coming soon. No, I'm joking. No. But yeah. So I figured we have him on the podcast today. It's been a long time coming. I've always wanted to have you on the podcast. And I've always said this about you, like I said it earlier today, like you always give great advice. You got a good head on your shoulders. I just don't think personally that you reflect enough and offer enough to enough people, like in terms of on social media and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it enough, and I'm not saying that you don't think about it at all, but I'm saying you have value that you could offer to people. So why not help? You know? So that's why you're here. Also because I really think you're cute. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. That was a Freudian.
I've been waiting for you to say oh my god!
No, but yeah. On a more serious note, so yeah. Without further ado, Dalton, introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Dalton.
What convict? Name's Dalton. 5'10".
5'10", girly beard.
Girly beard, if he wants it.
Well, Cal basically, you know, introduced the beginning of how we met. Yeah. You know, I'm a very big, I guess, like introvert.
Oh, interesting.
You know, like when it comes to being social and like expressing ideas that I got, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I can get the confidence to actually put it out there. Mm. So I've been that way since I was a kid, though.
Gotcha.
But when it comes to, like you were saying, how you think that I have all these, you know, ideas and just stuff in my brain that can help people.
Yeah,
you know, that meant a lot because you know I've always wanted to do that. Because I know for a fact now that you know I want to start a channel or something like that, do something anything like
content
that.
Creation. Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
pretty good.
Yeah. So I've known Dalton, you know, like I said before, since like 7th grade, I believe, right? And we were boys.
Yeah.
We'd always, we would always, like how we first became friends in 7th grade, right? We, you probably know it better than I do. You want to explain it? It was the happy birthday vid.
Man, yeah, it was, I don't even know. I don't think there was anything before. Was there anything before that? There was. Did we share a class?
I don't think, but like we didn't really become good. Maybe like we knew each other, but we didn't become really good friends.
Yeah, it was more like an acquaintance.
Yeah, acquaintance thing.
Where every time that he passed me, actually no, it was my birthday. Mm-hmm. That's the day that we became friends.
Yeah,
because he literally, he I don't know, he just knew it was my birthday. He's like, happy birthday, man, you know. Yeah. And then the next day he was like, oh, happy birthday, man. And then he would just go. That's all he said. That's literally all he said was just happy birthday, happy birthday. So it was a running joke that we both did. We just both like made the eye contact. We were just like, happy birthday, man.
Like
handshake, you know?
I remember, like, so we had like before school, like before like class started or like whatever they called that first time when you went to school. We'd always like, I made sure we go on the hallway and he was at his locker and be like, oh, yo, Dalton, we forgot you. It's like, oh yeah, bro, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Yeah, no, but yeah, that's how we became friends. And like from that point on, like we were friends, like, but we weren't like, you know, you know, yeah. So then freshman year moves around. I move out of my house, which had bats in it, and you know, whole nother story for a whole nother time. I move into a great neighborhood with who ended up my boy. Like that whole summer beforehand, I was like, bro, no one lives in this neighborhood. Like I was so bored, man, this sucks. I didn't even know you were in the neighborhood. And then I went to crew practice, or like the crew introduction thing,
Rowing.
and that's rowing, yes. And so I met Dalton there, and he's like, yeah, I'm doing crew. And then I was like, oh, yo, Dalton, I heard you live near me. And he's like, but then we figured out we were in the same neighborhood. And then
entire summer was wasted.
But from that point on, we subconsciously said to each other, we were like, yeah, we're going to be fucking boys. Like, we knew it, you know? And I never had that, like, number one dude to go to, but yeah, you're that guy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, along with,
Squeeze my wiener.
Yeah, squeeze my wiener. Yeah. Long and Jordan. But yeah, you guys are fucking family. So, but yeah, so kind of like basing it off that, like throughout like your high school experience, throughout your like journey up to this point, I would say like what are some of the key things that you have learned, like big life lessons, like beliefs that you hold that kind of like you just like kind of like reflect back on time to time that just keeps you going through things. Like,
damn.
Yeah, so
that's a big one.
Do you want me to like start off?
Yeah,
okay, so for me, for example, like a big thing that I've kind of developed is like realizing that
being vegan is great.
Questionable. I mean, no, it is. No, I'm not vegan. I'm like a middle ground between vegetarian and veganism. I still got some work to do. But regardless, like a big thing with me is like I realized like during like last year around this time that like I was very emotionally underdeveloped and I was very internally inauthentic in high school. And what I mean by that was, and I recently rewatched the Conscious Cast of Jordan, Cole, and I. We were talking about this, and pretty much how I would reflect, I would reflect the popular groups' values, beliefs, and what have you. And that I would, if I wasn't meeting that standard, I felt like, oh, I was doing something wrong. So for instance, I would like. When I would sit with you guys, right, at like senior year high school table, or whatever, I would be like, oh man, I wish I was up there with them, And so,
yeah,
that's all I thought about. That's all I cared about. And so, coming into college and like shifting more through like moving towards more self growth and like really through meditation and like just changing my life in general, like I've realized that like your true authentic self is it can be hidden behind like inauthenticity, like because like a lot of times like we're projected on with beliefs and values, especially at a young age when we're really influenced,
Yeah, totally.
But like if you are able to like, but you've always been really authentic, you've always been true to yourself, and you and Jordan, like that's why I always like love being with you guys, that I like your authenticity reflected my authenticity, you know what I mean? And I could be authentic around you, but when I was around others, such as like the popular individuals, I would be inauthentic because I wanted to share the same beliefs as them, right? But you guys had different beliefs, and in that sense, when I tried to show those different beliefs of you guys in that group, they would look at me weird. And like when they would look at me weird, I'd be like, oh shit, I can't have them looking at me like that. I'm not cool anymore, man.
So my life's over.
So like,
oh
my god. Yeah. So something I took from that was like, authenticity is such a valuable trait, man. And it's like, and unfortunately for me, it took me so long, and I'm still struggling with it to this day, to be true to yourself and to like just be who you are, like be who you like intuitively are. So that for instance for me is something that I hold to my heart, just being that like natural, just letting it flow naturally, exactly. That's something I hold in my heart. But yeah, I'm sure you hold a lot of that too.
I was gonna say that's probably like one of the big things that I definitely have taken away from high school, because I know in high school I did a little bit more of staying with the lower down group, whatever, the ones that weren't honestly like all that popular. And it might have seemed like we were weird or something like that. Even though for some reason, I would, I don't even know. It's like you would occasionally have this person who would come to you and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" But it's like it didn't mean anything, When it came to high school, it definitely was a lot harder to find your place, because obviously you want to fit in. but you also want to have genuine connections.
Exactly.
Because that's I think is the big thing that I wasn't able to take into high school, and I almost feel like I took for granted. Taking things for granted is another big thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I almost took you for granted towards the end of high school, and I didn't appreciate, our relationship all that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
No.
Like,
I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Like, I fucking left you for washing or dishwashing. Like, I could have totally stayed around.
No, that's different. That's different. But I get what you're saying though, and it's like, and that's very interesting too, because if you kind of like take more general sense, like put our like individual situation, you apply it more to like, that's very common in high school, right? That like people will just be fake to there's plenty of examples in our high school of kids being fake just to climb the ladder to be popular. You know what I mean? They and this is something that I fall victim to very often. I sacrifice my own beliefs for others, like I was saying earlier, right? And then through that breeds inauthenticity, but yet I'm receiving all of this like gratification, right? Like all of this attention, and it's like what I want. But if you apply that, so that's how they are like when they're young, right? And so they bring that with them into college. They bring that with them into their life, right? And maybe I'm sure like over time, they develop out of that, I'm sure. But like for a lot of individuals, I think they are stuck with that conditioning. When I say conditioning, they're stuck with those actions, beliefs, behaviors, and they continually do it. And the more they do it, the more it becomes solidified within them, And like those behaviors, they don't go away overnight. Like anything, right. You know better than anyone. Like fucking to change a behavior is not fucking easy.
It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not. Yeah.
So my question to you is like, for someone that's been in both of our positions, all right? Like they still feel like they want to be authentic, but they don't know how, right? Like what would you suggest to them is a way that you have, because like I said before, you've always been authentic. So like what is a way that you feel has helped you be authentic? If you can think of one. I know that's kind of like a lot to put on you.
Yeah, I know for me, a lot of trying to figure out who I was trying to figure out who other people were. Because in finding those people who have the same dislikes, have the same likes, and have the same kind of personality and attitude towards things, it's a lot easier to feel comfortable projecting yourself. So when it comes to what you know deep down that you are, is how you want to approach situations. It's not how you think you want to. So when I say that, I think if say there's a conversation going on next to you of like popular people, and you hear something that obviously you could say or you can talk about, but those people are pieces of shit. You don't want to really involve yourself in something so pointless, because unless you know for a fact and you're starting to understand those people more, it's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm gonna just sit here and talk to people who I actually know. Because I know for me, to be more authentic, it was a lot easier to, obviously in freshman year, I'm not going to know anything about who I was. But as time went on, I was able to wipe the dust off of these like different areas of my life that I knew were me, and it wasn't anybody else. So off the top of my head, I knew I'm going into freshman year. I knew I was artistic, so I went with that. That uncovered a lot of like. Obviously, paint, like characteristics, traits, skills. Yeah. So for me, it was like, I started off like drawing, and then I would find painting, and then I would find animation, I would find game design, and now I'm at graphic design, and that's where I know right now where I can show and be authentic and actually put my ideas out there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and then actually, I was thinking about this earlier, like bouncing off that art thing, like. Art is like I feel like everyone should have like some type of way of expression. Like for me, I am fucking ass at art. Like fuck that, dude. But like video editing and like cinematics, I feel like that's my art. That's my lane. You know what I mean? And I feel like everyone could find that different lane. And it's like, what has art done for you? Like how is it? How is finding art as an avenue that you're good at? Helped you within your life? Like how has it been a medium for you to like maybe relieve negative emotions, or just just serve you, like
there's been a few things that it has helped quite a bit. The most important, I would definitely say, any kind of negativity that I've had, I've been able to, rather than releasing it out on friends or family, even though, you know, all teenagers are fucking assholes. I know I was one. To my parents, but it was really, I didn't even discover this until, you know, like halfway through sophomore year, even junior year, where it was like I would be so angry at something, or I was upset, and you know, the teacher would give us a prompt or whatever, and we'd be like, all right. And so I'd start coming up with ideas in my head, all the creativity bundled up all here, all just like let out onto the page. And with it, it brought all my emotions and stuff. And you'd see, like, sometimes maybe the prompt would be like, make a landscape. And if I was upset, I would fucking make like a swamp or something, you know, like some droopy ass willows, you know. But it helped realize, it helped me put myself into the moment where I was like, I'm sad, and I can see that now because I'm good with pictures. I can see that now. I should do something about it. Obviously, other than that, art people in high school aren't really looked at as, you know,
outcast kind of thing.
More outcast, especially because I know when I was taking classes, it was really weird because I felt like me and like a few other people were the only guys. A lot of artistic girls go to, you know, and that's not like a gender thing. I'm just saying that was from my experience. I was the only guy in half of my classes. So I don't know if it's like guys in high school are afraid to show that side, but I could totally see that happening.
That's a big thing too, like with being authentic, right? Like being you. Like when you're being you, you're standing out from the crowd. Like no one else could be you. No one else could be you, right? Like
exactly.
That's like you're an original copy, and that's something that I've noticed within my life a lot, and like especially with you. You know what I mean? Like you were into art, and you know like you know, like you said, like you were one of the only dudes in art class. You know that's standing out from other guys. You know, and like you being one of the only individuals. And this applies to us doing crew. You know what I mean? Like to put some context on this, crew was just so looked down upon in our high school. It was called like the pussy sport, literally. And like word, and they would literally I can't think of the word, but like harass us.
They look down on us and they make fun of us.
Make fun, exactly. Yeah, harass. Don't take that in like a super negative way, but like to that extent. But like when you're being yourself, when you're like when you're being yourself, you're standing out, right? But when you're not being yourself, you're kind of, and you could fall victim to that popular mentality, right? And that's a lot of times, like, don't get me wrong, there's people who are themselves and they're just that. Like, that's how their authentic self is. Like, I get that, cool. But when that, like, popularity, they see, like, what it can bring them, it can drag them out of who they are into who they're not, who they aren't, you know?
It influences a lot of, regrettable decisions. Because I know for a fact that there were a few people who heard all this like, negativity and slander towards us. They quit the sport, and you know, obviously, a year or two later, realized they were like, "Dude, I hate what I do right now. I wish I stayed with it because like." And then they look at us because we stuck with it. We kept to ourselves.
Exactly.
And we were fucking. I mean, I senior year was like, ooh, I had so much like muscle. I was like,
fucking shredded.
When it comes to, I guess being yourself is rewarding in the end. I will say that, because I found that, especially on the two topics of art and then rowing that we're talking about here, by sticking with art and not backing away when I saw that other people weren't there, the popularity wasn't there. I right now I'm rewarded by it because I know what I want to do. My point is, it rewards you. Like with crew, I stuck with it all through high school. I was rewarded in physical and mental health. And it gives you confidence to say that this is my authentic self. It's not like a deterrent. It's more so you should definitely stick with your first gut instincts, if anything.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And it's as I was going on before, it's like some people will never jump into their authenticity because, one, it's outside their comfort zone, and two, they have all this pressure. Like, it's similar to the comfort zone thing. They have pressure from like people around them that they'll be looked down upon for doing it. Like, imagine if someone from the football team in our high school went to go do crew, they would be fucking slandered, man. Like, and I'm telling, like, and like, like, crew is one of the hardest fucking sports. Probably like up there with like football, equal. You know what I mean in terms of cardio.
Yeah,
the amount of
definitely, and this was talked about a lot too in high school when we compare it.
Yeah.
It's almost as intense, if not equally as intense, but in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, dude. Yeah, I mean, if you want to feel it, dude, just hop on a nerd for 5 minutes. All right, like probably the only cardio that's harder than that is fucking punching a bag. All right, it's like that. Yeah, boxers are on a whole nother level, but that's besides the point. I mean, yeah, it's like with these past couple years, I have noticed that I have really developed into my authenticity, as I've said before, and I've made so many lifestyle changes that that are just so different from other people. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm just saying there's so much.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, bro, I'm better than you. Fuck you. No. There's just so much different, and it's like, for example, like, I don't really know anybody else that's making content on YouTube, like making content like that. You know what I mean? I don't know a whole lot of people that have completely dropped meat. You know what I mean? And this is once again, I'm not trying to push any type of beliefs on you, but I'm just saying,
dude,
like,
I don't see it either. I don't see many people saying, like, sitting in a dorm room like this and making content.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm like, once again, this is not to like boost myself up. These are simple, objective observations that I'm making right now, and it's just like, through my habits, my lifestyle, like, I don't know a whole lot of people in the western side of the world right now that like meditate consistently, exercise like that, and they, I mean, like, we have, like, luckily in this side of the world, we have like access to so many resources, so many opportunities, and it's like, unfortunately, a lot of people fall into that trap of negativity with social media and that type of stuff, and they
Victim.
and like, I've been there as well myself, and I'm still there at times, like watching porn, for example. It's like, that's a big thing too. We won't get into that. But regardless, it's just like being you while also learning at the time. Well, learning at the same time from others, And it's not like, being you isn't like a selfish thing. Like, obviously you got to be selfish at times, Like, you got to put yourself first sometimes. But when you're authentically you, and like you can really take a step back and reflect and see that, like you said before, it's like, yeah, man,
You realize,
stay true to yourself, bro.
and you realize how much you've grown.
Yeah,
and how much you mature just by finding who you are.
Yeah,
because you're not looking all over the place for different skill sets. I mean, sure, you are, but you're not looking all over the place seeing like, oh, I should be here because of popularity, or I should be here because of this person said so. You're experimenting, you're figuring it out, and then when you find something you like, you're honing in and you're building on that. Because when you build on that, obviously it progresses like crazy, and then you get to where you are because that's where your authentic self grabbed onto.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, once again, like, it's like the comfort thing, like, in putting in the effort. It's a big thing, because I know with me, like, in school, like, fuck that, I don't want to do school, but like, it's got to get.
I still don't want to.
Yeah. But it's got to get done, and it's like, you want to progress, you want to get better, but it's that effort that you have to do. And so, kind of with that, my question to you is like similar to how, like, when I have made, like I was saying to Dalton, I have made zero money off this channel. Absolutely none. I don't do it for the subscribers. Obviously, growing a follower count is very nice, and that's all the perks that come with that are awesome. But I genuinely love this, and I wouldn't keep doing this unless I genuinely loved it.
Yeah.
Right? So my question to you is, like, art, for example, or other passions in your life, like, that you continually do on a however often you do it, like, and let's just say you don't get the best results possible the first time, right? And you just keep working at it no matter what. So, for example, for me, like, I might continue to make videos even though it's not reaching the most amount of people, which I want to reach more people. That's my goal, but I keep doing it. I keep going. So, like, maybe for you, maybe it's art, maybe it's like something else in your life. Like, what keeps you kind of grounded in that type of area? Like, what keeps you going? Or I don't know if that really makes sense.
No, it does. For me, I'd honestly, I'd say the best thing that I've ever seen or been told on when it comes to staying motivated and stuff is shit doesn't change in a day.
No.
It takes a long fucking time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of time. Eventually, no matter what it is that I do, so I guess for me, it was art. When people told me that art wasn't going to get me anywhere, and I was just going to be like an art teacher or a fucking like artist that hangs up crappy ass pictures on the wall or something, I just was like, all right, well, I'll figure it out. But it's going to be related to this. It's just going to take time. Because when I saw that, I was like, all right, I got to stick with it. It's something that I was born good at. Not like bragging or anything like that. But it's like what people have been telling me is like I'm good at it.
You're so good at it. I'll tell you right now, you're good at it.
So when it comes to making like life changes to be authentic, it's hard to say like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to change entirely, and it's going to be the best thing I've ever done, because it's not just like that. I wanted to do. Here's a good example. I thought about doing a crazy ass challenge that was like this. It's called the 75-day hard thing, where basically you work out 2 times a day. You have no alcohol. You follow a strict diet. One of those workouts has to be outside, and you read 10 pages of a book. If anything, if anybody were to try to do a challenge like that, or if anybody were to try to make a life change that is so drastic like that, so like say you want to get 200 subscribers on YouTube, you're not going to get it in one video.
Yeah.
You have to realize and sit on it, because eventually it'll get there.
Yeah, that's 100% true, man.
It's got to be a gradual change.
Yeah, shit doesn't happen overnight. It's the same thing with like example, like losing weight, getting in shape, putting on a lot of muscle. Shit doesn't happen overnight. It's slow and incremental. It's and like those small baby steps make over time. It fucking goddamn, it's like a tower.
Yeah,
and it's so true. Like the 75-day hard challenge. That's fucking awesome. Like I love it. Dude, that was so funny, man. But yeah, so I know that very similar to you. This girl who I work with, she got like dumped by her boyfriend, and she was like, I'm over it. I'm done. Like I'm losing weight. I'm like self-improve herself in so many ways. Like I'm going back to school. I'm getting this shit. Like I'm like, and it's been like probably like 4 months since she said that. Nothing has changed. She's unfortunately it's very much still the same negativity. I remember another instance with her. She was like, you know what? I forget exactly what she was trying to say, and she was like, I'm gonna beat that motherfucker up, and she seemed pretty serious about it, and like she was gonna handle it in a really negative way. And I was like sweeping the bar, and I was like, I literally looked up at her, and I was like, is that really the best way to handle this? And then she stops and reflects for a second, and she's like, no. And I'm like, if you want change in your life, the only thing that's gonna make that happen is you. Like you gotta change for shit to change out there, and because like you're the fucking source of change, and when you have these motivations, you don't have the discipline backed by it, right? So, like, for example, for you, you saw the 75, you probably saw a fucking jacked ass dude. You probably saw...
I saw before and after.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, that could be me, I can do it. Yeah, and then you realize the work that it takes to get there, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And you gotta be mentally prepared. You gotta be, like, every aspect of your well-being prepared.
Yeah, it reminds me of when, it's fucking December 31st. You're waiting for that countdown.
Yeah.
You're prepping a list of all your what do you call it?
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, resolutions. Yeah. There it is. You're thinking of all your resolutions that you're going to do next year, and you do it. You start doing it for the first couple weeks, but then you fall off because you realize how insanely hard you asked of yourself. Yeah. But obviously. It's because people mentally don't think about how much time it takes and the patience that you need to have for it.
Yeah, it's like throwing all that shit on your plate at once. Yeah. It's not realistic or practical. Yeah, but like if you could take on one new thing, right? One new thing, then just focus on that. Like for example, like right now for you, you're going to the gym. My man's is like we worked out last semester. We worked out once every week, right? Last semester, and we were consistent. We were consistent about that, right? Consistent. Yeah. But my man's now, like we didn't see each other for the first like 2 weeks of college. Yes, yeah, very sad. I cried. Yeah, and then like we saw each other at the dining hall, and he was like, he came out of his way, and he was like, dude, you want to work out together? And I was like, what? Like, I was like, no way, dude. And like, I was like, I'm ready, bro. Guns blazing, we're going in. Like, and it's like that there's a lot of things that can be taken from that. But first to say, like, you're willing to make the change, right? And it's been probably like a week now. I think last Thursday was the first day. And
Yeah.
he's already gone with me. Like
Last Thursday we benched.
Yeah,
Friday
three.
we didn't do fuck all because he was work.
I don't work out that day anyways. But like,
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
like the days that I work out, he's pretty much been there every single day since. And
Minus yesterday.
minus yesterday.
But I need a break.
Yeah, you need a break. But like, regardless, he's usually an individual that wakes up at a later time, right? Not saying that's right or wrong.
Oh my God.
Not saying that's a bad thing.
My earliest class is at 10:50.
Yeah, okay.
So I wake up at 10:40.
10:40. Okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. You know, it's a subjective thing. But he has been I usually go to the gym pretty early, and he's been waking up with me getting that early, and I can just tell from that act alone, getting up that early, you are fucking ready. You know what the fuck is up, and you're putting your head down and you're fucking putting in the work. I've already seen it. Man's already fucking making gains out here, even though like
Breaking PRs.
breaking
somehow.
PRs, and we're going head steaming in, and we're gonna get you in fucking hella good shape, and I'm gonna get myself as strong as possible. Come the end of the semester, however long we keep working out for. But
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's fucking great that I'm doing that and I'm focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
But I will say I am trying to focus on another thing, and it's not really working out. That second thing isn't working out. It's conflicting because I think part of the reason last night too was, or yesterday that I didn't go was because I also want to do another thing later on after all my homework that I did have to do a lot of homework. I was up to like 12:30. So I was like, okay, fuck. But I wanted to try and work on the gaming channel that I'm trying to figure out. But I didn't ever get the chance to because it was up so late. I was like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
And so then I screwed myself in terms of sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a great example of trying to hone in on one thing at a time until you have your footing. Because right now I'm sitting here realizing, you know, I need to focus on one thing at a time. And if this one thing, I'm going to take it and I'm going to go with it because I know it's going to take some time and it's going to take some patience.
And once you do it for long enough, it just becomes natural. And then you can start to add new things on. So, like, luckily for me, you know, I'm not, once again, trying to say this to blow, but, like, similar to you, I have focused on one thing at a time, you know, and whether that be, for instance, getting in the gym, that became a natural habit over time. Becoming, developing more of, like, a meditation. Yeah, go ahead.
I just...
Check it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like developing like a meditation mindset. Yeah, and like, or no, getting into meditation, like different practices, right? Added that to the arsenal. And you can definitely multitask, there's no doubt about that. But
big time.
when you want to dive into something, right, and it's going to take up a significant time period, like this is an hour a day, pretty much, that you're dedicating, like 5 out of 7 days a week. You can add it to the time, and it's like, once again, it's like a New Year's resolution, and you're just like trying to throw all this shit on top of like New Year's, it's not going to work out. But like if you could be patient, wait until be like baby steps, you know, you can build like such a great character over time. And it's like you've already got such a great character, you know, and it's just about, you know what I mean? Like I mean that. And like you're working on the other aspects too, you know, because like you can always get better in a relative sense. But yeah, I mean, another thing that I wanted to just like kind of take away from like you being like willing to go to the gym and like in like a more broader sense, it's like willing to make that change is very big, you know, and like that self-reflection is very big as well. So like what made you ask me like to like go back to the gym? Like what made you?
I think after I honestly I've made so many life changes that I never got the opportunity to make a big life change that I've always wanted to make, and that's just been being healthier and being physically capable of holding my own and everything even. So a big part of why I haven't gotten into it sooner has definitely been I've gotten a girlfriend.
Yeah, you got a lot of.
I will say that is the most
important.
important.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it's also the most demanding.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's the same
very
thing.
good point.
It's exactly the same thing as we're
Requires
talking
the
about.
most supply
You're-
of time.
You're not going to gain that bond just in 2 seconds, you know?
He knows what the fuck is up.
But it takes time and patience, and it takes a lot of fucking patience.
Yeah.
So it's taken a lot of time that I've wanted to use on other things. And that's fine, because obviously that's also working on me as well as working on her. We both found ourselves through each other too.
I got that.
Hey, how's it going? But when it comes to what I wanted to do, I now want, now that everything is settled and I've worked on, I think, enough to be comfortable, then oh my God, this is so intense. I'm like, he's not here anymore. This is his cat.
The couch.
But no, yeah, I'm now in a spot where I'm a lot more comfortable when it comes to my girlfriend, because obviously, you know, we make promises to each other. We're at that bond where it's fine, and I don't have to really worry about it. A lot of other things are also settled, like, you know, school, whatever. So when it came to thinking, I just sat in front of a mirror and I looked, and I realized how much weight I had gained from freshman year, or from freshman year, because freshman year I was in my prime, and honestly, it really just reflected back to me like, wow, this is the one change that I need to pursue next. So when I saw Cal that day, which was what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday last week.
Wow,
yeah.
Shit.
I was like, all right, this is my one route, because this man is a professional, and obviously, you know, he's not going to be like, oh, I'm not a professional.
Fucker. I mean, all right. No, I'm not. Let's be honest. No, go ahead. Continue. I'm joking. It's fine.
But when it came to knowing that the change needed to be made, I wasn't going to do it myself, because it takes a lot of willpower to do it by yourself.
Oh, for sure, bro.
And I know that having my boy, who since day one has always been there for me, always motivated me, always, you know, picked me up, supported me. That's my in. That's my in to making that change. So I definitely, that was the decision right there. Was, all right, I'm asking Cal.
Yeah.
Because no one else would get it done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any kind of impact on this change.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have any kind of motivation to do it and keep up with it.
Yeah,
So,
and you're going really well, man. So. To end this episode off, you know, this is definitely a very good discussion, you know, and this is what we need more of in the world. You know what I mean? People having
more Dalton.
more fucking Dalton, man. We need this guy over every fucking dude's butt. You know what I mean? And
What?
Yo,
Yo, I'm hungry.
oh, I think you're saying you're horny because like, I'm joking. All right. Regardless, besides the point, you know, we need more discussions like this, open discussions. You know, it doesn't have to be on camera. It can be on camera, you know, because other people can see it. You know, and just having these types of discussions, you know, because I learned a lot this session, you know, and I hope you did vice versa, you know, and like just kind of like, you know, thinking more, you know, and that's what this world requires. It requires a conscious reflection of the activities we're doing on a daily basis. Like when you look at your habits, when you look at their behaviors, yes, they are whole and complete, and you should not disregard, feel inferiority or superiority. But if you want to be more aligned, right, with like how you feel, because that's a really big thing, like how you feel, right? Ask yourself, like, is this the life that I want? Am I making habits, choices, behaviors that fit your authentic self? Are you being true to yourself? Are you trying to make progress towards things, or are you constantly watching others making progress? Because it's a lot easier to watch rather than produce. And luckily for us, we both produce, you know, and I'm trying to get better at producing more consistently, as, you know, improving in other areas, as we all are. And so just to kind of wrap up this episode, it's like we touched on authenticity, we touched on being yourself and how that leads to you being an original, and it requires bravery, as you are not in the crowd of the set paradigm or whatever that others of your age or family or whatever or people on social media are like. And it's okay to be you. It's okay to be yourself. And it's okay to have people look at you in a weird way. We both have been in that boat. And
we've lived that life.
We've lived that life. And so those are my concluding statements. Did you have...
I mean, he basically covered it all. But honestly, I can't stress enough. I mean, I hope that somebody watches this and takes something away, anything at least. But it's so important to just be yourself, and he said that to have that authenticity. Obviously, it's going to be hard to figure out and to just off the bat, like you said, you can't off the bat find it. It's going to take time.
Yeah, true.
So whatever passion, whatever skill, whatever friends you meet, stick to them, and feel it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to know unless you feel it out and you stay with it. Sure, you could waste a lot of time, but
Fuck.
It's to figure out. Yeah, right. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
'Cause it's to either figure out if it's a positive or it's a negative in your life.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And it still can be useful. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, with all that being said, love yourself because I love you, baby. And great episode, my man. We're clocking out.
Clocking out.
Clocking out, baby.